Hi guys, Donna here with your weekly mini reading for January 22nd to the 28th, 2024. I hope wherever you are, you're safe and that you're warm. Hence my little hat here. It's been really frigid where I am and I can't seem to get warm today. Okay, so last week we had music, surrender and release, and study in the Healing with the Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. We had trust the guidance you're receiving from the Radley Valentine Sword of Light Oracle, St. Michael. And then finally, we had obstacles and blocks lifted from our Angel of Abundance with Doreen and by Doreen and Grant Virtue. So I hope you were able to work with those energies last week, especially the surrender and release one, the affirmation that I left in the notes, because we had surrender and release for 2 weeks in a row. So we were trying to surrender and release. And then we got really cold and frigid. And it felt like there were days that I didn't even go out because minus 21 degrees below zero is just a little too cold for me. Anything under 20, I'm not happy with, but anything below that, like if I don't have to go out, I'm not going to. Right? I'm going to stay in. I'm going to stay safe. I hope you are too. If you're where the flooding is, I hope you're able to be safe from the floods. Everything is just turned topsy-turvy with the weather. So please, please, please be safe out there. Okay, so also trust the guidance you're receiving. So when we surrender and release what it is that our need to control whatever situation, I hope you were able to like listen to some music. Take some time to pause. When the earth is this cold or we have all of these obstacles, right? We had obstacles and blocks lifted last week, but the cold and the water and all of the horrible weather that happens honestly causes us to just stay put. Where are we? Reevaluate. What is it we need to do? How can we stay safe? Are we supposed to take the pause, be in that frozen tundra where I am and just kind of freeze and wait? Know that we can still have ideas, know that the obstacles and the blocks are being lifted, but that maybe what we have to do is stay put in order to have them, which is kind of hard, you know, because we have to work and some of us have to go out in the cold weather and some of us are lucky enough to be able to just stay in and stay put. But you know, what did you learn last week? We had surrender and release 2 weeks in a row. So looking at where you were surrendering and releasing, what came up for you, those kind of things. And I hope you were able to use the music to kind of soothe your soul. This week, we had over the weekend, Pluto entering Aquarius officially. The last time this has happened on Earth was in January of 1778. So we are in historic times. I believe that was a time of enlightenment then, and now this is a time of new enlightenment now. We're shifting, we're changing. This Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. So we're setting ourselves up for the next 20 years, and it will be a little tumultuous, but eventually we're going to work this out. What you have to do is stay calm, stay centered, see what your vision is. I read something that was talking about it's going to be the year of the dragon. I think it's the wood dragon this year, but it's going to be the year of the dragon. And then you have Pluto in Aquarius. So you have the dragon energy, and then you have the magic of Pluto. You know, where are you going to manifest? What are you going to manifest? And we're also in that 8 year. So it's all about abundance in some form or format. And right now we were having an abundance of cold. We were having an abundance of snow. Some people were having an abundance of water, right? Depending on where you were and what you were doing. And we have this crazy weather where you can't get out and you're kind of stuck where you are, or you have to go out, but it's just feels like you're in cement, and it's just hard. And I get it. I feel the same way, but we just have to kind of keep on going and then giving each other encouragement. You know, where can you give someone else encouragement? So I'm going to call in St. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel and see what they have for us this week. I know that It's always harder for me when it's this cold. I think I'm really meant for warmer weather, frankly. I like the ocean. I like the water. I like the sun. Not sure I'm crazy about sand, but I do enjoy being near the beach, on the beach. So I keep visualizing in my meditations a very sunny place because I need that. I need that sun to come in and help lift my spirits, right? Okay, so first we have children, new love, and then finally truth and integrity. So the first card that came out was children. And when children come in the reading, it usually represents our inner child. Where is it that we need to get in touch with our inner child? What is our inner child trying to tell us? We were surrendering and releasing our need to control the last couple weeks, right? Last week we were working with the study card and the music card. So this could represent you learning something new this week about your inner child. Also, there's two of them, so it can also mean your children, getting in touch with your children. Maybe you haven't talked to them, or maybe you have, but you want to check on them. This is a good time. Maybe it's working with children. Maybe your next employment is going to be working with children. But whatever children means to you, in this case, it really does feel like us getting in touch with our inner child. I know where we are right now. It's a little cold. It's getting warmer, and we have snow, but in that snow we could make a snowman, thinking of ways where we can be more childlike so that we can bring a fresh approach, fresh eyes, so to speak, to our week. Then we have new love. When new love appears, it can be twofold. It can mean that if you're looking for a romantic relationship, then a new love is on its way to you, right? You've been looking, you've been searching, and here it is. The new love will show up this week. The other thing the new love card represents is us loving ourselves more, right? Allowing ourselves to be childlike so that we can love ourselves more. And when the child and the new love show up, it can be that maybe somebody's having a child this week. Maybe their due date is due, and here the child comes, and it's a new love, right? You fall in love with your child. But as I said, with this inner child, it feels like getting in touch with that inner child, being able to fall in love with yourself again, so they like to say. You know, what does that represent? How can you bring more softness, more love, more unconditional love to yourself that you give to others and that we give to our children? So watching for whatever represents new love to you to come this week. It can come in the form of a pet. It can come in the form of something blossoming in your house. Maybe a new plant is blossoming. That can be new love. Anything that represents love to you. As I said, though, it can also mean a new partner for you if that's what you're looking for. And then finally, we have the Truth and Integrity card. Now, when the Truth and Integrity card come in, as I've said before, that's the hardest card in the deck. Because you have a truth, someone else has a truth, and everybody's fighting against each other. But truth and integrity is you standing and owning your truth, being honest with you, having your head and your heart align to integrity. We want to be in integrity this week. We want to look around us and see, is this friend in integrity with you? Are they looking out for your best interests? This is reevaluating friendships and relationships of all kind. In truth and integrity, it comes down to, are you walking your talk? Are you living in your own truth and your own integrity? Are you expecting others to be honest and truthful with you, but you're not quite honest and truthful with them? The Truth and Integrity card is all about accepting that we're all allowed to have our own truth and know that sometimes that can cause conflict, but that we need to address some areas potentially in our lives where maybe we're not being quite so honest with ourselves, or maybe we realize someone isn't being truthful and honest with us. You know, what is it that makes you find your integrity? Where does your head and your heart align? Where are you unwilling to compromise for that? You know, are you beginning to awaken? Oh, you know, I really should be better at this, or I realize I'm expecting this behavior from a person, but I'm not exactly emulating that behavior. So with truth and integrity, we want to be sure that we're really looking at our truth. Also, it's speaking your truth, because there's blue on this card, right? Blue. Speaking our truth. Where are we going to speak our truth and stand in our integrity this week? Then maybe it has to do with that new love you're calling in, that you only want that person that's coming to be in, have integrity and be truthful and honest with you, that there's no deceit there. And also maybe it has something to do with your children, you know? Maybe it has to do with you recognizing something or some behavior that they need to change that you feel is not really aligning with what the truth and integrity of the family is, because there's that truth and integrity as well. We have them as individuals, we have them as a family, we have them as a society. And, you know, where is the truth and integrity these days? You know, you have to really dig deep. You have to look and know that with, I think this is a good one to journal on. I know I will be. Where in my life do I feel that I don't necessarily emulate the truth and integrity that I ask of others? What is it about me? What do I need to shift and change potentially? Or is it that I walk my talk most of the time? I'm not saying we're 100% all the time, but as long as you're okay with your head and heart aligning, and that you're not getting caught up in your own hardness in your head, in your being hard on yourself, right? Living in your truth and integrity. Sometimes we decide we're going to be truthful and honest to someone about something, and then at the last minute we decide maybe we shouldn't say that. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should look in the mirror and go and have that conversation in your head or in that mirror with you before you have the conversation with someone else, especially if it has to do with your inner child or the new love that's coming, or being in truth and integrity. Like I said, look and see which area of your life you might need to tweak a little bit for the truth and integrity. But if you fall, if you say, no, I'm doing good, fantastic. That's great. You just kind of regroup and you look around and you go, okay, well, I could improve there, but I realize that for the most part, I walk my talk. If I give my word, I follow through. That's truth and integrity. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'll be there. If I'm going to help you, I'll help you. So it's, where are you in your life you might like to improve, being more in your truth and your integrity. Okay, so now we're going to call in St. Michael and see what he has to say. And, okay, stay the course. Don't panic. You're not on the wrong path. You're just having a bumpy start. Learn from your experiences and keep going. I think we had this a couple weeks ago too, but St. Michael's saying stay on course, right? Stay the course. Don't get distracted by anything that might come up. Ooh, and that goes with truth and integrity as well. There's that yellow card from the other. You want to be sure that when you're working in that truth and integrity card, that you're also staying the course, that you're not being too hard, that you're not going to panic, that sometimes we get distracted by other things, or we get put in a situation like I am, where we're in that frozen tundra and we're not going anywhere. And we don't feel it. We feel like we're spinning our wheels, or we're tired because we don't want to go out in the cold. And it feels like we have to get on 500 layers in order to just go get mail from the mailbox. You know, really be in tune with who you are, but don't panic, and realize that we really are right where we're supposed to be, right? So stay the course. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, and also know that it might get a little bumpy, but that it will smooth out. And then in my instance, I would encourage you to ask St. Michael to roll out that golden carpet to help him cut away the fray so that those obstacles and blocks from last week get lifted, right? We want to make sure that we can not get too distracted, but also not beat ourselves up about it, because it's what we are here to do, is to learn a lesson. And in learning the lesson, we don't want to be so hard on ourselves that we're depressed, or we're getting that critical parent in our head and we can't get it out. So, recognize where you might be a little too critical, but also know that no matter what, whether you have setbacks or not, you're still on the right path and you're on the course. Now, we have organized for success, and I believe we had that a few weeks ago too from our Angel of Abundance. And this says, do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is a simple way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. So on this card, which is beautiful, by the way, we want to start to organize our life. We want to organize our thoughts. We want to organize our finances. This time of pause is a good time to do that. Do we need to clean out the closet? Do we need to straighten our room? Do we need to organize our, our calendar? Do we need to go through and throw out some papers maybe? Do we need to shred some papers? Where do we need to organize ourselves so that we have our best success? And I do like that it says when you do that, it's a simple way of ensuring that you have clarity of purpose. Because when we organize for success, we're able to stay the course, right? We're able to stay in our integrity, love ourselves more, and be in touch with that inner child that we have. Organizing for success is simply a way of allowing us to stay on task without distraction. Have a little checklist if you need it. Some need it, some don't. Give yourself a moment. If it's too overwhelming, start in a corner and only do a corner to organize, and then work your way out. If you're doing the whole house, just take some small, maybe 5 minutes, set an alarm for 5 minutes and say, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to go through my desk and I'm going to organize what I can. And at the end of the 5 minutes, I'm going to stop and I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go do something else. Allow yourself the grace to stop when the alarm goes off. Because I know I get all involved and, but 5 more minutes or 5 more minutes. But if you can organize it in a way that doesn't feel like it's overwhelming to you, then you'll have better success, right? We're just organizing where we need to. Maybe you need to clean out your closet, or maybe you need to take your some of your clothes that are still summer and you need to just pack them away. It's very small things. Maybe you need to organize your bathroom a little better, or you want to go through your makeup and get rid of makeup that no longer is good or valid. Just those little things that we go, oh yeah, I'll get to it, and we never do. So start to think about that. Maybe you want to make a list of five different areas where you need to organize, whether it be on your desk, in your room, in your closet, in your house, in your car. I know mine this week is going to be organizing my car and making sure that I clean it out, and maybe when it gets just a little warmer in the garage, vacuum it, but doing something where I feel like I've accomplished. Sometimes it's cleaning the kitchen, like organizing the kitchen and cleaning it. That's always fun, because then you see what you've done. Or you go and you clean the bathroom and you organize the bathroom, and now you're feeling really good about yourself because you have a tangible accomplishment that you can go look at and think, wow, that felt really good. And then you'll, like I said, but set an alarm. Don't just, it helps if you're able to set it for 5 minutes. That way you have that time frame where you're just focused in on that particular task. You don't get overwhelmed because it's only for that particular task. And then at the end of that 5 minutes, you say, okay, and then you go off and do something else. If you need to, and you want to put that in your calendar, that the first, from 10 to 10:05, I'm going to organize the corner. But from 10:06 to 10:30, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to unload the dishwasher. So give yourself like a list of what you might want to do. And if time is an issue for you, then that's a way to keep track of the time, right? You can set the alarm. Then if you feel like you want to come back to something, you can, but just make it easy. Don't make it hard. Just kind of make it fun, because this, again, is the week of getting in touch with that inner child. How can you make a chore fun? How can you make organizing fun? And see if you can't come up with innovative and more fun ways to get the organization that you're looking for your success. So I hope you like this mini reading. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you guys know the drill, right? I hope you are safe. I do have time this week for some angel readings, Reiki, or life coaching, the intuitive coaching that I offer. I also have time for discovery calls, or if you want to, you want to chat. If there's anything you need, please reach out and give me a shout out. I'd be happy to get back with you. You'll find all of my details in the below this video. So, when you do that drop down menu, it'll give you the cards that we do this week, plus how to get in touch with me. All right. Well, I hope you have a great week. I will see you next week. Be safe, be careful, and know you're always on my Reiki radar. This is Donna. Have a good one.